Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Faith, Family, and Business Live. I have a special guest here today with me, Danielle Clark. I'm so excited that she's going to be with us. She has such a wealth of information to share. And the best part is she's going to give us survival tips for surviving this time and also making sure that our businesses are thriving in the online market space. I'm Natalie Layvlock. I'm the host of the show, and my business is Natalie Layvlock Coaching and Consulting. And I work with entrepreneurs who are ready to take their business to the next level by creating online courses, high ticket coaching programs, certification programs, and things like that that will help them be seen as the go-to expert in their industry and give them more time for the things that they love in life. So, Danielle, welcome to the show. If you don't mind,
Having me.
do you mind if I want to give you this professional introduction or whatever, and then we'll dig into the content.
Yes, by all means.
Good. Okay. So Danielle is an international best-selling author. She's a speaker, and she's the CEO of Influence Builder and Entrepreneur City Live. She works with influencers and mission-based entrepreneurs to help them create impact, influence, and powerful platforms. So guys, if you need the tech, Danielle's your gal. If you need those systems in place, she's the one to reach out to. So she has over a decade of experience in online marketing and business strategy, and she works with 6 and 7 figure business owners so that they can build their dream business while also still creating massive impact in the world. So Danielle, thank you for being my guest today. I'm so glad to have you on the show.
Well, thank you for the invite. I appreciate you and everything you're doing in the world. And let's just give you a hand because hosting is a big undertaking. So just showcasing all of us, and you're so appreciated for holding the space.
Thank you. Thank you. And really, this is the thing I look forward to every week because I'm like, who wants to just hear Natalie talk about herself all the time? I would much rather be highlighting experts, highlighting colleagues and friends that are doing amazing things in the business space. So thank you for being on here with me.
Of course.
Yeah.
A pleasure.
So we have lots of fun things to talk about today.
Yes.
You are the marketing guru, so it's going to revolve around how to make sure that you have those marketing survival strategies in place.
Mhm.
And then we're going to talk about some other good things that are coming up as well.
Yeah. And it's and really marketing and my jam is online marketing. That's what I've been
Yep.
doing for a decade. So it's marketing, yes, but it's a totally different beast. So
Yeah. So when people come to you, what would you say are some of the top of mind questions or top of mind concerns that they have?
yeah. So there's two things that come up almost every time, and it's lead generation, and then the other piece of the lead generation is ideal clients.
Okay.
So
So
I
people
want more
say,
ideal clients and prospects coming into my funnel.
okay, very good, very good. So you're probably hearing and seeing a lot of things right now with what's
Yeah.
going on in the economy. A lot of people going like, what is a funnel? And a lot of people just starting to see the real value in having the ability to have something online for their business as well as the traditional brick and mortar.
Yeah. So what we're hearing a lot of people, and we're just going to bring the pink elephant right into the middle of the room, guys, is that everyone's talking about COVID-19, right? And what that's doing to businesses in general, not just brick and mortar, to online business, to everything. And we're hearing a lot of words like it's time to pivot. And then you have the other side, because when a lot of people are zigging, then you'll have a group of people that are zagging, saying, no, don't pivot, increase your prices, keep your prices, hold steady until this is all over. And what I like to say to everybody, I'm like, let's be real. There's some there's some big shifts that are happening in the world. And with shifts comes more shifts. Us not recognizing that our clients and prospects are going through a panic is not really supporting them. So what is where the pivot is actually stepping into the customer journey where it is right now. So instead of us saying, like, we have coaches and consultants that we work with, right? You and I both work with some professional people, and us pretending like it's just a regular day isn't necessarily helping our clients. So if we step into our clients' shoes, and what is it that's happened to them? Are their pain points the same? A lot of cases, especially for you and I, is that the pain points have intensified. So where they may have needed a little digging into a pain point, they don't need much of it at all. And it's a
Right.
wonderful opportunity. So the pivot really is, how do I create a solution and messaging so that I'm telling this is the solution and keeping it with the current times? Like, this is what's happening now. This is how their pain points have shifted or intensified. And then showing up and supporting them that way is the pivot, is the shift. And it's really very slight for most of us. Some people need to dig in even deeper to their products and services because they weren't actually focusing on the pain point, and now they're required to.
Yeah. And so part of what I hear you saying is it's not just in the delivery model, face-to-face versus online, but it's also thinking about, okay, maybe I had program A, B, or C ready to launch.
Yeah.
And because of COVID-19, maybe that's not the best thing to launch right now.
That's part of it. It's part of it. And it could be the perfect thing to launch, and just the messaging needs to be tweaked so that it is that much more apparent that this is the perfect product for me. Maybe it's that they need to bring even more value to the product. Maybe there's extra bonuses to add to the product. Maybe there's things that are going to help on top of what they're already helping with the product. So there's always a solution. And now, as a whole, coaches and consultants and service-based business owners are being asked and required to look at the holistic, bigger picture of this.
Yes.
Which is, they weren't doing it before. Now it's like right in your face. You have to do this. You have to look at this in a more holistic approach.
Yep. And I see that, this is a stretch, and I'm taking it out of our world directly, but I'm also seeing that like in the healthcare industry, where we have developed over time so many specialists because of this crisis. They're having to pull in those skills that they may have learned 20 years ago and function a little bit more like generalists to really be able to take care of the masses of people that are sick right now. So same thing in your business. While you may be very highly specialized in one thing, the needs in the market right now may be such that you have to pull out something from your toolbox that you haven't used in a while, or be able to share your message in a different way that really lets people know, hey, I know what you're going through and I'm here to help you.
Yeah. And that's a beautiful point, because the way that you are speaking and talking about this is that, hey, we're all in this together. We're all in this together. And there's really no need to, well, some may argue with me. From my perspective, in my opinion, there's no need to position in this point. In fact, being authentic and saying we're all in this together, we're all figuring this out, and coming from that place of I'm here to create solutions is something that's highly valuable right now. And it's real, and it's relatable, and everybody wants to be seen and heard and understood, which means that us as leaders and coaches get to be seen and heard and understood and come from a place of understanding.
Yep. And so there's really, what I see is really two sides of this. We have the coaches that are extremely results driven, and it really doesn't matter what you know or what you feel or anything like that. It's about getting the result.
Yeah.
And then there's the world of the coaches that are very like expressive and process driven, and as long as it's about the experience, right? And so we're starting to see that there's a way to blend the two, right?
Yeah.
We can take some of the pressure off, we can keep moving forward, and we can create the best experience possible while we do that.
Yeah. And I love that. I'm like, finally it's emerging. We're integrating. Yay, we're learning so fast. And I understand the experience and then the results. And part of the experience is the process, and the process is there to get a result. Like every experience we have, there's a result at the end of it. So even if we were to take this down to, I want to have a Hawaiian vacation experience. Wouldn't that be great right now? I'd love to get out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. The goal and the result is to get to Hawaii.
Yep.
So there's still a result attached to everything. So it's really beautiful, and I love integration. It's like a merging of both hemispheres of our mind, the feminine, the masculine, all that. And what you're saying is that we're coming from a place of both experience and having a result attached to it, which is really a holistic way of looking at it. And the last thing that people need is something else that's just a cookie cutter. When we talk about this cookie cutter coaching, right? Cookie cutter consulting, something that everyone else is doing. And then everyone's like, well, let's go the polar opposite and zag when everyone's being a cookie cutter and zigging. And even then it can be difficult, because then you can go so far out and not really consider the experience and the results that are needed from you.
Yes.
So
exactly.
it's a happy balance.
Yeah, and I think, I really truly think people are beginning to understand and value that it is a balance, that we need both in order to really have successful businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is like it's more than a quick fix, a hack, a one-hit wonder. And yes, all of those can be put right into online marketing and business in general. There are some people that have a hack that it'll do some things, but it's not the end all.
Right.
So now is a time, like from my perspective, now is a time to get clear on your messaging, to how you serve, to who you're showing up for, to who that person is, to what their pain points are, and how their pain points have changed, and how you can support them, and not just in the now, but in the long run. Like, what is it that you can help them with today that gets them that immediate relief or result, and how are you preparing them for down the line?
Yes.
Like, that's essential. That's essential.
Yes. So let's shift gears just a little bit here, and let's talk about getting leads online.
Yeah.
I've been using some new strategies and things like that with mixed results on how people perceive that.
Yeah.
And it's really opened up my eyes to a lot of really bad, really tacky marketing styles that are very like push, just push your stuff out there, right? Yeah. So talk about that a little bit, the different styles of marketing and what you see based on your expertise in that industry.
Yeah, and traditional marketing is very push. It is very much the loudest gets the dinner. The squeaky wheel's the one that gets the oil. And it's still happening, where the loudest and the squeakiest gets the attention. And good, and there's also that there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Sorry. When you said the loudest and the squeakiest gets the attention, the first thing that comes to my mind is like a disruptive child who needs a timeout. You got my attention, buddy. But it's not necessarily the attention you were looking for.
Right. And and yes, that's a really good perspective of it. And I've been in the digital space, for a decade. So I will say the ones that rose to the top, not all of them. Some of them are really fantastic entrepreneurs and are really coming from a place of solution. A lot of them are just the loudest. And the loudest ones are the ones that get out there. Do they necessarily have the solutions? Not all of them. I mean, if I have to hear one more story about somebody paying tens of thousands of dollars and getting no more results, I may just shut myself in the closet and cry for 2 days. I mean, it's not just one person. It feels like it's almost everyone has had that experience. And there's because of the experiences that have been had and the ones that have risen to the top with really good sales and marketing but nothing underneath it, there's a bad taste in people's mouth. And
Mhm.
they no longer have a tolerance for the push marketing. People are questioning it. They're wanting to see more results. They're wanting to see testimonials. They're instead of going right into the I have a big pain point and I'm going to believe that this person has the solution because they say so. Hi, sweetie. I know. Here, can you go? And sorry, kiddo's here.
And this is the family part of the show.
The family part of the show. Oh, it's an Elton necklace, and who else is on that? Oh, Olaf. No, Spen. Spen.
Oh, yeah.
Spen's a good one. All right, sweetie. Can you give me 5 minutes? I mean 20. There you go. You know, you can't.
Homeschool
The door
lesson
was.
for the day.
Well,
Learning
they're
to
on
tell
spring
time.
break. They're on spring break too, so they don't have any homework. And I'm like, oh man, how am I going to keep them busy? Train of thought was lost. Anyway, so yeah, so
You're
people
talking
don't.
about people rising to the top,
Yep.
push marketing. Maybe not
Yep.
all of them, but some of them don't have really good programs and systems underneath them to
Yeah.
deliver on what they say they're offering.
Yes. And because they've been the loudest and the squeakiest, people have experienced them, and now people are more savvy. Now they're not believing the push marketing tactics. Now they're questioning. They're asking more questions. They're looking for results. They're talking to people who have had an experience. It is not as easy to sell face value with push marketing tactics. So, in the online space, what is working? And I call this magnetic marketing. This is the pull marketing. This isn't the I'm going to be loud. I'm going to scream at the top of my lungs. I'm going to be everywhere. I'm going to just put this in your face. And now it's more about, all right, I'm coming from a place of I want to pull you in, and I want to pull you in by communicating.
Mm-hmm.
I want to pull you in by engaging you and creating opportunities for you to learn more about me, from telling a story and relating to you and letting you know that I'm a human being and I understand where you are and I've been there and I've come through it and I have a solution for you if this is how you're feeling too. So pull marketing is really where we're merging everything, where we're taking the experience and the results because it's being required of us. It's not something that it takes a whole lot of effort either. That's the other thing. It's actually how to be a human.
Right? Maybe we should call it human marketing.
Human marketing, right? Like face-to-face human marketing. And the other thing that, I tell a lot of my coaches is like, hey, it's not about you. It's really not. And yes, I get it. We want to have goals. We want to keep ourselves motivated. We want to keep ourselves productive. But at the end of the day, your services are an extension of you, yes, because you have the ability to showcase and to lead people. And to get people to that point of where you can show them, you have to relate to them. So then, and all of it isn't really about you. You're more of a conduit than you are the person.
Ooh, I like that. I really like
It's a
the
conduit,
concept that you're the conduit because,
Yeah.
For me, faith is a big part of my business and why I do what I do. And it's really about using what the gifts and the talents and the skills that God has given me
Mhm.
to help somebody else. And
And
so,
yeah. And the experiences. Like,
yes.
and I think that we don't even step into that. Well, and sometimes I mean, I don't want to go back to some of my horrible experiences either, because it was a painful process, or at least I felt like it was painful. And if we look at it at the bigger picture, is that our rough experiences, the ones that brought us to our needs and calling out, God, please support me and help me through this, was actually given to us so that we can show up, so that we can show up for those that will be going through something similar and need a leader
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
to hold their hand through the path and show them the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ooh, I love that. I love that. I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I I feel that way, and um it's really also an appreciation for everything that I've had to go through to get to where I am, and appreciating and recognizing and acknowledging when other people are there in the place where it's hard, where it's difficult, where it's overwhelming, unsteady, and being
Uh-huh.
something steady for them.
Yep. And that's what people need right now is
Yeah.
not here, 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 here. They need that consistency. They need stability, just to know that there is a solid foundation that they can stand on.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
And then they get to create it for themselves too, with permission. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
magnetic marketing is not about you, the business owner, as much as it is about you providing and serving at a higher level, and from a place of understanding, a place of experience. And there's a lot of, and it's all about communicating that.
Yes.
And
Yep.
now's the time to really, really communicate.
So let's talk a little bit about the wares. So, you know, we're talking about, showing up in a way that is less push, more communicative, more experiential. Let's draw people to serves everyone well. But where would you say are some of the best places to show up? How do you get out there if you're not just pushing yourself everywhere?
Yeah, and it comes back to the customer experience too, right? Is that once we dig into our experiences and what makes us really special and our solution, then we can understand from the customer perspective, where are they looking for the solution. So whenever whenever my clients are coming to, like, where do I look for these guys, and it's like, well, where do you show up? And you show up to where they're looking for a solution. So for a lot of coaches, social media is the perfect place to show up. And it's, again, showing up and communicating and attracting them in. You got to make it easy for them. Like, that's the thing that most people do. Like, if I just show up and then they'll come in, and it's like, make it easy for them to connect to you. It's not just one thing to find that perfect Facebook group that has all your ideal clients and then not post, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I'm
Mm-hmm.
here. Don't they know my brilliance? You have to share it. So posting.
I did the welcome post.
Why aren't they all coming in? And it's like they need more because it's communication and it's connection, and people need at least 5 touch points, 5 times of experiencing you in order to be enrolled in you. So it's a little bit different than when we're live in person. We can get that like, know, and trust factor very quickly, especially those of us who are feeling people. We're like, oh, you just feel good. I like to hang out with you. Your body language is very open, so I'm going to come on in. It's different in the online space. You have to work it a little bit more. You got to earn it. So if you first and foremost, understand your clients, understand their pain points. People purchase on pain, especially right now. You need to know where they're looking for a solution. If the solution is they're going to Facebook to find answers to their questions, then you need to show up in those Facebook groups and you need to provide them answers to their questions. So Facebook groups are great. you have to make it easy for them to contact you. So if you have your Facebook profile set to cannot message and cannot friend request, and you're trying to market yourself with
Mm,
your profile and trying to get, how are they going to get a hold of you?
yeah,
Yeah.
great point.
And the other thing is like, are you actually showing up within the group? And it's not just about, oh, well, there's another, and I have it in my group, and I'm part of me is just like, I don't know why I do this. It's a waste of time, but everybody wants to promote, and I'm trying to offer them what they want. But Wednesday promos, right? And you put your promo in a list of 100 comments. Are they going to see it? How
Hmm.
are people seeing you? And if that's all you do, it's great as a first step, yes. Is it really engaging your ideal clients? Are you actually showing up? So you have to show up wherever they're looking for a solution. You have to show up with a solution. So if somebody's
And I,
asking, yes, go ahead.
I, I actually, I actually love those self promo days that are all in one thread. Now,
Yeah,
I will not sit there and go through 200 or 300 posts, but I will
yeah,
go through several of them because everybody's promoting what they're doing. And
yeah,
it's a great opportunity to find people to connect with, people to interview, people to, share different
yeah.
things with. So it's kind of like everybody's right there together. So you want to talk about a marketing hack. if you're
It's,
if you have an adversity to the self promo day threads,
yeah.
like get over that because it's a great place to meet people and start building relationships.
Well, that's the thing. Start building relationships. So if you're showing up there thinking you're going to get a sale or someone to sign up, that's not what it is. So it's a good point that you
No.
made, and this is a really good, like, this is the place where you see what people are doing so you can decide if you want to connect, and then you take the connection further.
Yep. And let's translate this a little bit different.
Yeah.
Let's talk about people who do their 9 to 5 job. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you get paid the first day you come into work for the work that you're supposed to do that week? No. You get paid at the end of the week after you've done the work.
Yep.
Same thing with online marketing. You have to build those relationships. You have to put in the work. You have to invest the time and energy building that communication and building the trust factor with those people
Yeah.
before you can expect a sale.
Yeah. It's 5 touch points. It's 5. They can't experience you live, so you have to earn it. You have to earn it. But I like that you use the paycheck, and you're right. And some people, it's like it's in the follow, but it's like, well, it's actually at the beginning. Like, and I tell everyone this. I'm like, oh, the salespeople are going to be so mad. Sales are really easy when you do the work at the beginning with the lead generation and the communication and the relationship building. That's where you actually are making the sale, not at the end with the closing. You've made the sale
Mm-hmm.
beforehand with how you're building it. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So that one, I like that hack too, because I hadn't thought about it that way. I'd actually thought, I'm like, I know a lot of people are expecting to sell something by posting on the Wednesday promos, and that's really not what it's doing. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that as a host in a Facebook group, what I like to see is I like to see people showing up on the other days of the week.
Yes.
So I look at it from that perspective because I can tell, I'm like, oh yeah, they like changed. They're actually trying to get me, the host, to purchase this. I can tell in their messaging, and yet I don't see them posting on other days. I don't see them communicating with somebody who is trying to get a conversation going in the post. And I delete a lot of posts that are strictly promos during any day of the week, when there's some clear rules. And it's because I'm like, you guys aren't even taking the time for people to get to know you. And it's really interesting because these guys actually have really great solutions. They
Mm-hmm.
just aren't taking that further step, because um and I think that there's that piece of it where they want the instant result.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And here's
Yep.
where we bring it back around. And I've talked to people, and they're like, I just want it now. And I'm like, okay, well, let's talk about your product. Does your product guarantee instant results? Well, no. Why? Why not? Well, they have to work for it. They have to pull all the pieces together. They have to do all these little steps to get to that point. I'm like, marketing's the same way. Lead generation's the same way. It's the same way. So expecting an instant result on online marketing is the same as if somebody was asking you for instant results on your coaching. Like, oh, well, you know what? I did a 30-minute healing session and I'm not healed. I still have the same problems. Of course. So it's that piece of it. I know we could go like down a total rabbit hole.
I know. I'm thinking, ah.
Your head's hurting.
Yeah. That's why they call it a transformation. It's a start. It's a journey. We still struggle with this insta-pill mindset that I should take it. It should work instantly, and I should be cured of all my problems forever and ever. Amen.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. And it's really interesting because there's so many, and I like to think of it this way, is that I don't see anyone as a cookie cutter. Like, I know that human beings are made of layers and they're multifaceted. So we're all a bunch of beautiful diamonds without the same cut. So with that being said, we're not a one size fits all. So the other thing you have to let go of as a professional is that I help everyone. Who do you serve best? And how are you showing up? And how are you communicating that you're the perfect service provider? You have the solution that is perfect for a specific diamond, for a specific cut, for someone who is looking exactly for this solution. So Facebook's a great place. If I was to give other people, like my other favorite, I love LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn's fantastic. When done right. And you and I have talked about the experiences of LinkedIn. They're good and bad. We're about 50-50 on that, right? And people have had a lot of experiences on those. And what I want to say is, like, show up. Yes, show up on places where your ideal clients are looking for a solution, and also go a little bit deeper with these guys in showing up in a way that you understand them and you see them and you acknowledge them. As human beings, we want to be seen. I mean, and this is universal. I don't think I've met anyone that it doesn't hit at least once. We want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want to be understood. I mean, the understood is a really powerful one.
Yep.
The acknowledgement is a really powerful one.
Yeah. And to be known and to be accepted for who we are. We all, like, especially when there's a lot of hurt that comes over it. We put up a lot of barriers to keep people distanced from us. But I think even some of us who walk around with some of the deepest wounds, our deepest desire is to be fully known and just not hurt in the process, So, yeah. I was going to go off on a tangent about what I speak about when I speak at events, but it sounds so shallow compared to what we just talked about. So.
And and here's the other thing. We get to let go of any judgment on ourselves, like, well, I should have done that, or I should have gone deeper, or how did I not get this, or, oh, maybe I had an aha and why didn't I get this sooner? And like, this is why my background's in science. So everything I do, I put a process and a methodology behind, and it's not because I want to be a robot or a scientist. It's because in the past, I was too attached to the outcome and the numbers and fulfilling and getting it right, what I perceived as right, rather than going deeper, creating this as an experiment, and not just going through the motions of the process to get to the outcome, but actually enjoying and loving the process and digging into it. And
And the people
And,
along the way.
and the people along the way, because you learn so much. You learn so much. And when I started to fall in love with the process, and it took a long time, I'm not gonna lie, it took a long time. I I would get to the outcomes quicker, but I wasn't attached to how and when the outcomes came about because I was really just digging into the process. So the process is learning, and we're always learning. We're never entirely completed. Like
Mhm.
that's not what a science experiment is about. A science experiment, let's see what works, let's see what doesn't, let's see what we learn, let's enjoy what we're learning, and then the outcome comes from that. And it is a longer play, yes. Experiments tend to be a longer play unless you just buy one of those pre-made volcanoes. It's like, oh, let's just put in the baking soda and the other chemicals and boom. Um, so
Once
for a real
again, instant gratification.
instant
Instant
gratification. Oh, well, I'll admit one caught my eye because it blew up glitter. So,
Oh,
me, we haven't done it yet. I have not got my husband to say okay on that one because it is going to be a literal glitter volcano. Can you imagine? We're never going to get it out of the cracks of the wall or the or the
that's a
floor.
perfect, perfect outdoor experiment. It's getting warmer. Set that baby up in the backyard and just
Oh,
just do it live so I can see it too, because I want to see that
okay.
baby blow.
You want to see that baby? I know, right? Like all the glitter. Well, you have boys, so glitter may not be like the favorite thing in your house, but it is. It is all unicorns and butterflies and glitter, and then one very masculine man, which is the husband. Okay, so glitter volcanoes. Okay, that's going to be a nice little experiment that we may do live. Natalie requested it, so it's written down. It's there. Um, but yeah, the process is where the good stuff is. This is where you learn. This is where you make this is where you make the relationships, the connections, and this is where you learn a lot about yourself. And you get to do it in a very non-judgmental way. So
Yeah.
when we can let go of having to do it right and having to do it fast and having to have a certain outcome, and instead we enjoy and savor the process and the experiments to get there and give us a pat on the back every day we made it through the day, then we can let go of the judgment, the self-judgment.
Mhm.
At least that's part of how I did it. And it's really interesting, just saying from a scientist perspective, how much faster you get to the outcome when you do this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's. I want to shift one more time,
Yep.
Danielle, because you have organized an entire event
Yes.
around learning this way of marketing, around learning how to not just push on people, and to be, it just feels so lit. Um,
Now we just got to put lit into words. Is there a way to spell that?
I don't know, but it comes out of me a lot. Like, I've got B-roll footage of me going bleh,
Yeah.
and I just went bleh.
For
So we
any
got to get rid of that.
for any copywriters out here, that's a really good way to make a living. Is like, how do I write out sounds and facial expressions as a word? That would be pretty cool.
Yes,
I think
yes.
that's why we have emoticons.
So,
So
so anyway, let's so yes, and question of the day: if anyone knows the little emoji that has the little white gloves, is this a hug or is this a hug or what? What's that little emoji mean?
oh, it's not a hug. I thought that was the hug emoji with the white gloves.
I
It's
thought
kind
it
of like
was a hug, but sometimes it looks like something different. And
sometimes
okay,
it looks like
so
go
anyways,
away.
that's a
We can
coronavirus
we can
emoji.
we can use it as the push and pull marketing. Like we don't know. Whatever you're showing up today, this is the emoticon. Are they going to push you or pull you in?
This is the social distancing emoji. Okay, so let's talk about this event
Yeah.
where people can come and learn more about the magnetic marketing strategies
Yeah.
as opposed to the pushy push, but
Yeah. Yeah, and this event, guys, and like, and I'm so sad. Like, I'll say that I really was looking forward to this. This is going to be a live event. We turned it into a live stream,
Mhm.
for fulfillment for all of our amazing attendees that had already signed up. And the live event will be pushed off until we are allowed to step outside of our houses. So September, hopefully. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And the live stream is really about it's really about implementation. So it's not just about, hey, I talked very loosely about magnetic marketing today, but it would be really great to solidify the high level teachings into something that's tangible and you can use today, right? So how do I get 2 to 5 leads per day on LinkedIn without being blah, if I can figure out how to write that. I think it's an emoticon, and Natalie's speaking on this one in the live stream, and how to create these amazing high ticket products and what that takes. And we've got Kevin Hoover talking about how to turn a 5-day work week into a 2-day with productivity tips. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like totally taking out my notebook on that one. Like, I would love to even work 5 days a week. That would be awesome. That I gotta tap into. But this is the kind of stuff, is that it's going to be amazing trainings. We're not gonna
Mhm.
just talk at you, trainings where we're teaching you, and you are going to be writing notes. So get a pen and paper, and it's
I
happening
love
soon.
that. I love that. And one of the reasons that I wanted to do this with you was because so many times when you sign up for a virtual event or you sign up and go to a live event, it is a pitch fest,
Yeah,
right? They give you like one little tip, okay, here, now buy my thing. And what I've experienced from you has been this this mission to really change the conversation
yeah,
and to go deeper with people and to
yeah,
really honest to goodness give them things that they can implement today that will change their business tomorrow.
yeah. And it comes from a place of knowing what the other looks like and hosting
Mhm.
events that were all about the speaker and the pitching and then the after effects of that. So the changing of the conversation has been because of a science experiment gone wrong. It's good. It
Mhm.
was good information. And the people, the audience, which are the ones that they're the ones that drive these events, are saying, I would have liked more of this. I would have liked more of that. And it's consistent across the board. And
Mhm.
it's, what I really need is this. Then you can come back into creation. Like, okay, I'll wipe my brow because that just really that blew up in my face a little bit. So let's come to the place of a solution and making this a huge win. And how do we make this a win for everybody? So it's
Yes.
a win for the audience because they're getting trained. It's a win from the speakers because now they're training and they're engaging people so that they're doing the heavy lifting on something that they're already brilliant at, which is the speaking piece of it and the training piece. So sales becomes easier
Yep.
afterwards and it brings in the right people. And then for the host, me, everybody wins and then I win. I
Mhm.
win all my
Mhm.
hard effort. If I'm really here to create a mission and a movement and it's happening and I'm the one that gets to hold the space for that in the container, big win. And that's what we're
Yes.
doing.
Yes. Making sure everybody wins. And Danielle, another event that I had done, I brushed it off and it didn't really hit me till later. Everybody came up afterwards and they were like, I took more notes based on what you said than anybody else that was here. And actually, me and one other speaker, one of our mutual colleagues, that gave honest to goodness good content during their present. Got so much good content. We really appreciate it amidst all of this other just pitch, 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 pitch. And people really want good content. And I know that's what you're going to provide at this event.
Yep.
And for me, there's no greater compliment. Like if I can be a good enough speaker to get on stages, fabulous, because that's one way that I I grow my business. I don't speak on stages to be like front runner of everybody, look at me, I am incredible.
Mhm.
You know, I do it because that's a method for me to be able to help people out and
Yeah.
get them the services and the solutions that they need. And so to me as a teacher, my background is in nursing education. There really is no greater compliment than to have somebody say, I learned something today.
Yeah.
I have something that is going to help me, that when I take this home and implement it, it's going to make a difference in my life. And I
Yeah.
know that's the heart of everybody that you have coming to this event. They are all,
Yeah.
whether they're teachers by profession or trade
Yeah.
in their path before they became entrepreneurs, they're teachers at heart. And that's
Yeah.
what's most important.
Yeah. And you know, and I think that that's me. I mean, scientist or nurse or other real, I mean, one of them was a real estate agent, and one of them's been a speaker for a very long time, which is the mutual colleague. And there it's different. Like these guys are different where they've actually walked the walk. Like I think that all of them, no, not all, I know all of them have walked the walk and have gone through some extenuating circumstances and experiences to get to where they are right now. And um, those are the best teachers, the ones that have gone through it, right? The ones that have gone through all of this to come out the other side and are are really their hearts in helping those that are going through this, and they're there to make it a smoother transition.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the event's about. It's about how are we showing up as leaders, because we're all leaders. Everyone in the crowd's a leader too. Sometimes it's just an untapped potential.
Yeah.
And you know, even motivational speakers, it takes one motivated person at a time to make the world go round.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. So tell us more about the event, when it
So
is, how to join in, all that good kind of stuff.
yeah, so the events, it's live stream, so you guys can sign up for the live stream. We have a week if you have to watch the replay, so it's okay if you can't come to all of it. We'd love to have you participate in all of it. April 23rd through the 25th. So full days on the 24th and the 23rd and the 24th, and then the 25th is a half day on Saturday. So because we know that
Okay.
we want to go enjoy the sunshine, right? Um, and you guys can sign up. I think Natalie has a link.
Yep, I have, the link is posted. I'll share
Yep.
it in the comments also again.
And it's just it's free, guys. It's complimentary. So if you've been struggling with lead generation, if you've been struggling with being as productive as you possibly can, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're wondering, how do I create an online product, how do I create a transformational product, Natalie's your girl, how do I speak now that all the stages are closed down, how do I create a presentation that's moving and is also a method of teaching and implementation for people, we've got Jace for that. We've got lots of information, like anything you could possibly need to really make a go of it in the online space, you're going to find. She did good to stay out of my office this long.
You did so good. Awesome. So I know things are still iffy. Are you offering an upgrade at this point if anybody wants to come to the like live real in-person event this fall? Or are we still waiting on some dates and seeing how things unfold?
They can upgrade. So you guys can actually upgrade. You can sign up for free, and then you'll have an option. There are two options on the upgrade page where you can get the digital downloads of all the live streams. So if you just can't take notes fast enough, I would definitely get it's only $29. We're holding hands now. So I have one hand to move with. And there is also an upgrade to buy a live event ticket. Now, we don't know the dates right now. So it will be September or October, guys. So just know that if you're getting a ticket, you're also getting the digital downloads, and you're getting a playbook from me. And then you're getting access to the general mission for the live event in Atlanta. So, and it's discounted. It's $159 for a 3-day event.
Awesome. And I will tell you, as much as I'm excited about the live stream event, I am even more excited about the live event because there are going to be people like live in living color. to high five, to hug, to just, I'm just,
I
oh,
mean,
I can't.
even if we have a rule where like, okay, it's just 2 feet of social distancing, then we can at least do a pretend hug. Like, oh, it's so good
You
to
know what?
see
One thing
you.
Jace does, maybe we should steal it from him. He does the whoosh.
What's
So when somebody does something good and he really wants them to own that they've impacted somebody or that they've
yeah,
said something that's really important, he's like, let's give everybody a whoosh. And so you
wish
like wish them and it's like
I
good,
like that.
good vibes, whatever. So maybe we should have an event wide whoosh.
An event-wide whoosh. I like it. I like it. I do
All
like
righty,
the. Does he do the whoosh and the clap? Right.
there you go.
He does. I'm pretty sure there's like an impactful sound after that.
Yeah,
Right.
that's for like his training, teaching to lock it in. Yeah.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
All right, we're giving away somebody else's good, good stuff. So, thank you for being
Trademark
on.
it, Jace.
I know. This is the Jace Bush. Um, thank you for being my guest on here today. I hope that everybody who hears this signs up to attend the event, whether it's the live stream or the live version of that. It's going to change the face of your business. I truly,
Yeah.
truly believe that, knowing the people that are going to be contributing to this, knowing their hearts, this is worth your time and energy to show up to this event. So
Yeah.
click the link. It's in the post. It's also in the comments, and get signed up for this event. It's next Thursday, April the 23rd through the 25th. Ending a little bit early on the 25th, so we can all go enjoy the sunshine.
Yes.
But I hope to see everybody there. Thank you again, Danielle. I appreciate
Thank you
you.
so much, Natalie. I appreciate you too, sweetie.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.